So this is just a quick catch up with Catchpole in the kitchen. To improve your health, you need to eat a more rounded, balanced diet. You need to drink less alcohol. You need to probably have less caffeine. You need to exercise more. You need to get better sleep. You need to slightly probably work on your relationships with loved ones and acquaintances you meet. There's a whole list of things, and I'm sure I haven't said anything that would surprise any of you. It wouldn't be any good if I just said, there's the list, go away and do it. There's a layer below all these targets that people are more often than not aiming at and not necessarily succeeding at. And the more subtle layer, for me, is discipline. If you have great discipline in one area of your life, you're a disciplined person. You can probably implement it reasonably successfully in other areas of your life. Habits are incredible. I don't doubt any of you ever forget to brush your teeth. That was something that's a learned habit, ritual and kind of routine. If you get into a routine, I've spent periods of my life where I got up and I just exercised, and it wasn't just a random coincidence. It was something that I did so repetitively that it just happened. I just fell into the habit. I've also enjoyed, for extended periods of time, glasses of wine with my meal. And it just became such a habit. When it wasn't there or I'd run out, it was something that was missing. So it wasn't that I thought, I need to exercise, or where's my wine? It was just expected because it was already programmed in. It was already a ritual of mine. So we all want to improve that long list, but we possibly need to improve our discipline. There'll be many things in life that you don't want to do it, but having that discipline means you do it and you reap the rewards. Attaching micro habits to pre-existing habits can be one of the easiest ways to hack habits, and getting into that routine. So I'll cut chatting and I'm going to show you what I do to implement new habits, and it's a perfect rounded example because you have the slight incentive, you have the reward to actually do the discipline. I set a timer, I use a kettle as my timer, and I set my jasmine tea in a cup, like so. And when the kettle goes, if the kettle goes, I've got my reward, I've got my incentive, and now I need to implement some discipline. And while the kettle is boiling, I'm going to do a micro practice. I'm going to do a micro habit that I'm going to want to start implementing regularly in my life. And the ritual, 3 or 4 cups of tea a day, is giving me the goalpost or the landmarks that I'm going to use to attach this new habit to. So I'm going to guide you through it, because if I just said stand there, don't think of anything and relax, you might feel possibly lost. But this is one of my best, most rewarding practices I've ever done in my life, and it requires zero investment apart from your discipline and time, and it requires nothing. The whole point of it is nothingness. So you want to stand as balanced, feet hip width apart, shoulders relaxed, head buoyant, and just stand there and let go of any thoughts, any desires, any attachments to be anywhere, to do anything. And as you stand there, naturally your attention will be drawn more to your body. Oh, I'm standing a bit in my heels. I can bring my weight forward a little bit and then find that sweet spot between the balls of my feet and my heels, and just rest there. That feels really comfortable. Maintaining that buoyancy in the head, the floating head. You want your shoulders, your elbows and your wrists just to relax and just hang downwards. Your pelvis is like a hanging basket. Just relaxing downwards, your head is going upwards, your spine, your pelvis is hanging downwards. After a few minutes into this practice, you start to get a bit squeamish or fidgety. Just settle your mind back down, remembering we're heading towards that refreshing cup of tea. You've got your reward, you've got your incentive. Now implement that discipline and just stand still. Do nothing. Just relax. Use this time to do absolutely nothing. Maybe not to start with, but after some time I often find it so enjoying that the few minutes it takes for the kettle to boil isn't enough. But that might not be the case if you're starting off this micro practice. So just use those few minutes of the kettle boiling to attach that new micro practice, that micro habit to that pre-existing habit. And then you've used discipline, you've used your mind to say, no, we're not going to gap out and scroll, we're going to do something productive. It's not big, it's not much, it's nothing. It's just standing still. But just relaxing and resting the body, even for those micro 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, is setting a tempo, is setting a tone. So now I move off and I get my cup of tea, so I've got my reward, I've had to utilise my discipline, I've attached a new micro practice to a pre-existing habit, and I'm on the way now, I've started that momentum, and before long I'll be like, oh, I stand for longer, it doesn't need to be attached to a cup of tea. And then you can see where I'm going with this, you can then attach other micro, more beneficial habits to these pre-existing habits. So enjoy a cup of tea.